Hi, welcome back to My Mom Life. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jordan, and today I have a budget-friendly What's for Dinner video to share with you. Today I am sharing 6 budget-friendly meals with you. These are dinners that we had last week, and I wanted to share these with you because they are definitely budget-friendly and a lot of ingredients you might already have at home. And if you don't, they're really easy to pick up at Walmart and inexpensive, which right now, everybody could use that, I know. I will have links to recipes or recipes written out for you in the description box if you're interested in making any of these. And let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite budget-friendly dinner? I would love to know because I want to make some new recipes. Sometimes I get into a rut. That's why I love these What's for Dinner videos, because it really gives you ideas when you're meal planning and grocery list making. So I hope you enjoy my video today. Let's get started. Tonight for dinner, we're gonna have Tater Tot Casserole. So I have my tater tots and my ground beef. I have a can of cream of chicken here. This was on clearance because it's like smashed, so still good, totally fine, need to use it. So you can use cream of mushroom, but I had this one that I needed to use, so I pulled that one out of the pantry. I have some garlic powder, salt and pepper, and then some freshly grated cheddar cheese. You can use the prepackaged shredded cheese if you want. So let's throw this together. What I need to do first is cook up the ground beef. I have my 13x9 casserole pan. I'm gonna spray that, and I have my oven preheating to 350. Okay, so my ground beef is done cooking. I'm just gonna turn it on low. There's not much grease because it's super lean, so I'm just gonna leave it. And then I'm gonna season it with some garlic powder and salt and pepper. I don't measure these things. I just kind of eyeball it. Now that I have it seasoned, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my canned cream of whatever you have, soup. And then we're just gonna mix it together and then put it in our casserole dish. This is super, super simple. Now we're just gonna assemble it. So we're gonna layer, or we're gonna put down our ground beef layer. And then I'm going to put some cheese on top of that. Now you just line the whole thing with tater tots. So here is our finished tater tot casserole. I wanted to show you like me plating it and all of that, but as you could hear in the video, it was quite loud in my house. So I baked this in a 350-degree oven for about 40 to 45 minutes until the tater tots were crispy. I also made some peas and carrots and some mac and cheese for my kids that were not going to like the tater tot casserole. And that was dinner for this night. So tonight for dinner, I'm keeping things super simple, and we're making some loaded steak fries. So I'm going to cook up my fries. I'm gonna spray my pan. I don't know if I need both bags of fries, so I don't think all of my kids are gonna want this. Let's see. Also, both bags won't fit on my pan. So I think I'm going to do another tray. Since this is all we're eating tonight, I'll do like half a bag on the other tray. Okay, here are my trays of fries. We're just going to load these up with cheese, bacon, ranch, whatever they want. I'll put on their fries, and we're gonna call that dinner tonight. So I'm gonna bake these in the oven, and then we will top them with some toppings. Once the fries came out of the oven, I topped them with some shredded cheese. I had this cheese that I had left over from the other night, so I went ahead and used it up. And then I shredded some more cheese on top because that was just not enough cheese. And then once I did that, I went ahead and topped it with some ranch and bacon bits. And then I popped it back in the oven just to get the cheese melted and everything kind of warmed up together. This is a good dinner for those nights that it's just kind of, everybody's kind of been snacking and nobody's super hungry. This is a good one to keep in the back of your mind for those nights because it's really inexpensive and the family loves it, and it actually is pretty filling with all of those French fries. So I know it's not the healthiest, but it is definitely a good snacky dinner for those nights that everybody's not super hungry, but they still want something yummy. I topped it with some parsley flakes just to add a little green in there, and that was dinner for this night. So these pork chops cook in the slow cooker, so I have my pork chops here. They're boneless. This recipe actually calls for like 6 pork chops, and I only have 4, but I made it work. Also, ranch seasoning mix. I only had the dip packet. It worked out fine. And then a cream of mushroom and cream of chicken. So I'm gonna pop the pork chops in the bottom of my slow cooker. I use the Ninja Foodi for everything. It's my pressure cooker, air fryer, everything. So I'm gonna pop them in there. And then this is really easy. You just combine the soup mixes with the ranch seasoning and then top your pork chops with it, and you're gonna cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours. Mine took more like 7 to 8 hours just to get super tender, because these kind of fall apart. It's more of, you want them to fall apart and be super tender. So I'm gonna cook these on low for about 7 to 8 hours. I initially had 6 hours, but it took a little longer. And then I served it over some egg noodles, which you'll see here in just a second. I'm a huge believer in using what you have and making it work. So like this dip packet, I don't know if it's the same thing as the ranch seasoning. I don't know how much different it could actually be, but it worked fine. Instead of going and buying a whole nother ranch seasoning packet, I just used what I had, and that really helps out your budget. If you are on a tight budget, just use things that you have in your pantry and make them work for the recipes that you're wanting to make. So this was the pork chops when they were done cooking. I just took my spoon and kind of broke them apart a little bit. They fall apart super easily once they've cooked this long. And then I served them over egg noodles, like I said, with some corn and broccoli on the side. And that was dinner for this night. Super budget friendly. If you don't have a fresh veg, just use a canned veggie or frozen veggies. Those are always awesome to have, and it completes your meal. This was absolutely delicious. I've made it before and I will make it again. So yeah, definitely recommend this recipe. For this night, we just did some chili Frito pies, which is just chili with cheese and sour cream if you want it, and then some corn chips. mixed in there, and that is a chili Frito pie in our house. We did eat the Great Value chili cheese Fritos, and they were actually really good, so I can recommend those for you. And it was just a canned chili. If you want to make it homemade, that's even better. But this night was super quick and easy, so that was dinner for this night. So I just showed you a super quick dinner. This one takes a little bit longer. This is chicken Alfredo roll ups. So I have some chicken thighs that I'm cooking in a pan. I seasoned them with some salt and pepper, Italian seasoning, and this garlic seasoning, which is absolutely delicious. If you don't have this, which is from Tastefully Simple, you can use garlic powder. And then I cut the chicken up into teeny little pieces once it was done cooking. And then I made a homemade Alfredo sauce. You could totally use jarred Alfredo sauce, but I'm not a fan of that. Homemade is the way to go in my house. So I have butter, cream, garlic, and cheese. And I'm just going to throw it all in the pan. If you want this recipe, I will put it in the description box for you. I normally do Parmesan cheese, didn't have it, so I did the Italian and it worked out totally fine. I also added in a little bit of extra milk to thin the sauce out because the cheese got super melty it got super stringy because there's mozzarella in that cheese blend, and mozzarella cheese is just very stringy. So I added in a little bit of milk to kind of thin that out. Here in just a minute, you'll see me do that. So this dinner definitely was a few more steps than the previous one, which was just chili out of the can. So on nights that you have the time, take the time to make that longer homemade meal. Your family will appreciate it. And if you are like me and enjoy being in the kitchen, it's fun to have nights where it's just super quick. And then some nights I like to take that extra time to put in to make my family something a little extra on those nights where I have the time. I went with chicken thighs, which I normally do not do, but the chicken breasts at the store, when I went to the store, were extremely expensive, and they didn't have small packs of them. They just had the large pack. So trying to stick with my budget here, I went with chicken thighs, and it turned out totally fine. In fact, I think my husband enjoyed that better because I normally don't cook with dark meat like that. He really enjoyed the flavor with the chicken thighs. So they're a little bit more fatty, and I had to cut more of the fat off, which I'm not a fan of, but it was worth it because I stayed in budget and my family really liked it. So I did add in some black pepper because I think Alfredo sauce definitely needs some black pepper, and then a little bit of salt, and that was my sauce. Once my sauce was done cooking, I added a little bit of it to the chicken, and I definitely should have made more chicken here. I should have actually doubled the amount of chicken that I made for all of the lasagna noodles that I used. I used a whole box of lasagna noodles, so while I was making the sauce, my lasagna noodles were boiling, so they are ready to go. But yeah, I didn't have enough of the chicken mixture to do a whole pan of the chicken ones, so I did some with just cheese, which you'll see me do here in just a minute. For these roll-ups, all you do is spread the chicken mixture out on a lasagna noodle, and then you roll it up, and that's a lasagna roll-up. It definitely takes more time, and you don't have to do it this way. You could spread the noodles out and then do a layer and do it like that, but this kind of makes it a little different, a little something fun for the family. I would definitely say if you're using jarred Alfredo sauce that you're going to need 2 jars of it, because I top the lasagna with it in the end, so you need probably 2 jars. 1 jar to go in the chicken mixture and then 1 to go on top. So like I said, I had to get creative and I just made some cheese ones so that I could fill my pan up and use all of the lasagna noodles. I didn't want to waste them just because I didn't have enough of the chicken mixture. So I just put some mozzarella in there, rolled them up, and then I topped it all with my sauce. And then I sprinkled a little bit of cheese on top just to let that brown in the oven. And yeah, that was dinner for this night. I did make some garlic bread with some bread that I had in the fridge that needed to be used. It was just some like hoagie rolls or like sub buns. If you don't have French bread, definitely use what you have. Use sandwich bread if you want garlic bread, or even hamburger buns. I did top the lasagna roll-ups with some Italian seasoning just for a little bit of color on there. And yeah, they turned out great. My family loved them. And that was dinner for this night. My last meal in this What's for Dinner video is some ham beans. So I made these in the slow cooker. They're just white Great Northern beans. And then I have this pack of ham slices that I bought at Aldi, super inexpensive. I think it was under $5. And I cut the ham up into pieces. I had some leftover bacon, so I chopped that up. I went ahead and got the Better Than Bouillon out, and then my seasoned salt. I have a lot of water there, and here's my beans with my ham. I'm just gonna throw that all in there. I did top it with some black pepper and let it cook all day long. And here is what they turned out like. It smelled so good cooking. I did make some jalapeno cornbread to go with it, and as you can see, I butchered it trying to get it out of the pan, which was a bummer, but it tasted the same as if it was a perfect slice. This night we also had the no-bake cherry cheesecake that I shared recently, so I will link that for you if you want to see that. Thank you so much for watching my video today. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye guys!